Hello, my crafty friends. Amber here, back with another process video. I am just continuing on with this month of taking card sketches and turning them into scrapbook sketches. I showed you the card right there. It is from Card Maps, very similar to Page Maps. They have cards and scrapbook page sketches that you can download for free each month. I love them. They are awesome. Now, I am noticing that at the end of this video, I show you a completely different card, but it's the same card with more of a Valentine's Day theme. There's a heart on it and stuff instead of the snowman, but it's basically the same card. So I know that they do that. They'll take the same idea and just switch it up by the theme. So that's what they've done there. Right now, I'm just going through the paper collection that I used. This collection is from Photoplay. I believe it's called Gamer, if I'm not mistaken. I've had it in my stash not very long, and I think I've used it, but I haven't used a lot of it. It's a super cute collection. All three of the people I live with, my husband and my two kids, are gamers. I can't play video games. It makes me sick. I can't do it. I get motion sickness way too easy. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've picked out the things that I want to have on my page. I'm cutting out this pocket photo. We call them PML cards and Close to My Heart. So that's what I'm going to call them because that's just what I know it by, even though I don't sell Close to My Heart anymore. The card says, "I'm a gamer dad, like a normal dad, only much cooler." The photo is a picture of my husband and my kids playing video games in the living room, all together having fun, giggling it up, and just a fun photo. So I thought that went very well with the layout that I'm going to be doing here. Now I am just going through and finding the different pieces. I love looking at a card and seeing, okay, kind of what's the layout and stretching it in my imagination to a 12 by 12. And that's what I've done here. Now, I do trim down this white piece because the card has a border all the way around it. And so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a border around my page, and it's going to be blue. Now, I'm going to gut my blue cardstock. Simply gutting is taking out the center of your paper so that you're not wasting all of that paper that's being covered. I don't always do this, but I wanted to use more of this blue throughout the layout, and I didn't want to waste another piece of paper. And so that's just an easy way to save on paper. Now, I love this paper with the controllers all over it, but it's white background, and so it doesn't really stand out very well against my white paper. And so I'm actually going to back it in some of this blue, which is just going to bring more of that blue to the forefront of my page. And it will kind of look like both white pieces of paper are backed with this blue. And I think it turns out really cute. I'm able to still use that cute paper that I wanted to use, and it doesn't just get lost in the background of this white. Now here's how I'm showing you how to glue on that piece onto a gutted piece of paper. I simply put adhesive towards the inner square that's cut out and then lay down my white on top, and you would never know it was a gutted piece of paper unless you flipped it over. So I love that. I do have a video here on YouTube, how I go in step by step on how to gut your paper. I'll leave a link down below in case you want to check that out if that is new to you. So we are just going to pull out some more cardstock from the cardstock collection that matches this collection. I am very much a fan of getting the matching cardstock that goes with a collection. I love it. It gives me more paper. I feel like I can stretch the kit even further because I have that cardstock, and the cardstock's usually fairly inexpensive. And so it's just a fun little add-on that I like to do so that I have cardstock that matches completely. Now I am going to lay down these pieces. I will play with it for a minute and realize that I have to scoot it all down because there's not enough space for my journaling where I want to put it, but it's all good. I don't push down things way too hard at first, just in case I have to move things around. And luckily this adhesive is something that I can use that lets me maneuver my papers around if it hasn't been too long. It doesn't quite get its hold yet, per se. Okay, I did have a chance to print up some journaling for these pages. This page is another page that I'm creating at a crop that I was at over the last weekend. And it was really fun to get to still do some work, but be with my friends and hang out, because I knew that I would cut out all the sound and it would work out just fine. So I am going to see what else I can use to build a cluster. I am going to do a diagonal of embellishment on this page. I love to do a diagonal of embellishment when I do a single page layout. It just makes my brain, like it just works in my brain. I always like to use something to base my cluster on. And so I wanted to pull in some more of this yellow. So I just made a yellow circle is with using my 3-inch punch, and it helps just kind of make a base for my cluster. I think next month in class, we're gonna focus on clusters and embellishing. And so all of my videos here on my YouTube channel will also talk about that, just to go more in depth and give you different ideas on how to do that. So I'm looking at the sketch again, and I noticed that they have a few banner strips coming down the side or up here at the top. And so I'm just going to take some of these papers that I used in my page to bring some more of that color up here in this corner. And then it's just going to help with that diagonal fill that I'm going to have on my page. So I like to stagger my banner pieces. You'll see that one is shorter than the other. So I just laid them onto my page before trimming them to length, because I didn't know exactly how long I wanted them. Here's where I'm going to decide, okay, this all needs to come up. And I just slowly work at it. Think, do I need a tool? Do I got this? And I got it. It came up. It was just fine. I think it ripped my paper a little in one spot, but it just got covered right back up, so it didn't matter. So I'm just going to lower all of it just so that the spacing is better on my page between those banners up there and my journaling, and then my cluster down here in the right lower corner. So my journaling says, I love that these three love spending time together, even if it's to play stupid video games that I can't play. I'm just going to add my handy dandy journaling squigglies, because I love to do that. If I, had been thinking ahead of time, I would have done it before I glued down my white piece, but it's all good. Sometimes I forget, I just do it after. It works out. Sometimes I remember to do my mixed media before I get going, and sometimes I do it at the end. You never know. So I am just going to dig through my stickers here, find some stickers to create this cluster. And like I said, I think next month that's what I'm going to go into more focus of in my class. And so my YouTube channel will also focus in more on how I create my clusters and what makes sense to me. This is how I take my embellishments to a crop. I grab a bunch of random stuff, put it in there, and I use what I have on hand on the pages that I'm working on, because I cannot bring my whole scrapbook room, right? I mean, it feels like I bring my whole scrapbook room when I go to a crop, but I don't. So I'm gonna throw in some green enamel dots here to go around this little cluster. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover up my photo and grab some, I think I use black or dark night, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna use gloss spray, and I'm going to do splatters in that diagonal to help bring your eye across the page when you're viewing it as somebody that's just looking at my album. So like I said, the picture of the card that I'm going to show you here in a minute is not the card that I use in the beginning of this when I was making the page, but it's the same layout, so it works. Thanks for watching. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.